No matter what era of basketball you look at, the point guard position has been one of the most critical positions out on the court when you talk about the NBA. When we look at the greatest championship teams the league has ever seen, it was primarily due to a point guard that was able to perform well on both ends of the floor. In the 50s and the 60s, Bob Cousy with the Boston Celtics was regarded as the model point guard due to his ability to handle the ball and his ability to pass. Jerry West with the LA Lakers in the 60s and the 70s was such an amazing player that he eventually became the model for the NBA's logo. The 70s saw instant triple-double Oscar Robertson with the Miluakee Bucks, and the 80s saw Magic Johnson, quite possibly the best playmaker to ever play the game. The 90s saw amazing all-time great point guards such as Penny Hardaway, Kevin Johnson, Jason Kidd, and Steve Nash. One of the greatest point guards today is none other than Damian Lillard, who grew up in the hood and almost lost his life waiting for a bus after high school practice as three men came to him and put a gun to his head. In today's video, we are going to talk about the inspirational story of Damian Lillard, one of basketball's greatest star guards. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Damian Lillard was born on July 15, 1990 in Oakland, California, once one of the most dangerous cities in America that was filled with gangs, drugs, alcohol, and prostitution. He was always one of the smallest kids in his age group, and due to such tough conditions, it was going to be extremely difficult for him to become a successful NBA player. There were many bad influences around and not many great role models. In fact, his mother said, "You are out here with the lions and the tigers and the bears. And if you out here with the lions, tigers, and the bears, you can't be a poodle." However, he was lucky to have an extremely good father figure in his dad, Houston Lillard Sr. His father helped Damian Lillard with his studies and steered him in the right direction. Damian Lillard considers him his best friend. Damian Lillard learned the important values of family, studies, and basketball, and was also tough and stubborn growing up. He always worked extremely hard despite negativity that others had to say about his game or size. When he played 21 against his brother and cousin were doing crossovers and all these moves, and when Damian Lillard couldn't do this, he used this as an opportunity to improve his game. In middle school, he worked extremely hard on his game, although he was not a very highly ranked player at that time, nor did anyone see him as having NBA potential at that time. He would constantly search out basketball games and saw how bigger men played and observed them. He always had a killer instinct and wanted to become a better basketball player each day. One day, his mom was worried about a lot of things and stressed out, and Damian Lillard was only 13 at that time, and they were in front of their mom's house. Damian Lillard said, "Mom, don't worry about anything. I'm going to the NBA. I'm going to be a pro. I'm going to be a rookie of the year. I'm going to be an all-star. I'm going to make a lot of money, and you weren't going to have to worry about anything." During his freshman year of high school, he was sent to Arroyo High School and he made the varsity team even though he was only 5'5", and he made a great relationship with the Arroyo coach. But the coach was eventually fired and Damian Lillard decided to leave the school after the freshman year. During his sophomore year in high school, Lillard transferred to St. Joseph Notre Dame High School in Alameda, California, which was a private school that produced former NBA point guard Jason Kidd. But St. Joseph Notre Dame was a prep school, and Damian Lillard's Oakland roots ran against him, as his coach, Don Lippy, found him too aggressive, and there were three senior guards that were ahead of him. When Damian Lillard said he wanted to play in the NBA, his coach said, "This many kids play college basketball. This many play Division I. This many play pro. This many make it to the NBA. You really think you're going to be a part of this?" Damian Lillard used this criticism as motivation and decided to transfer and play for Coach Orlando Watkins at Oakland High School during his final 2 years of high school, where he was first-team All-League. His struggles with the mean streets of Oakland after basketball was no joke, as it was filled with violence, and life was very difficult for Lillard. One night, after getting out of basketball practice, 3 men surrounded Lillard, and they demanded that he give them everything he had on him. Damian Lillard, who was very stubborn, said no. A fight broke out, but Damian Lillard was able to hold his own. But eventually, one of the men pulled out a gun and pointed it at him. It was only then that Damian Lillard gave up. But this experience only made him more fearless. He let his basketball do the talking. Damian Lillard was the team's best player on the offensive end at Oakland High School and averaged almost 20 points a game as a junior and was the league's highest scoring player. He would also come back and torch his old teammates and coach at St. Joseph Notre Dame for doubting him. Despite all these accomplishments, no one thought he was good enough to become an NBA player at the time. In fact, he received very little interest for major college teams as he was only regarded as a 2-star prospect by Rivals.com. His other fellow top-shelf point guards were lauded and recruited for much of their lives, and this lack of recognition that Lillard received up to this point in life correlates to him having a chip on his shoulder. One college team that was interested in him was Weber State University in Ogden, Utah, and gave him a scholarship offer. He decided to accept the offer as he really felt that he was around people that he trusted, including Coach Randy Ray. Damian Lillard gained confidence as a freshman player at Weber State, and he averaged 11.5 points per game and was named the Big Sky Conference Freshman of the Year and first-team All-Big Sky. Although he had a great freshman year, Damian Lillard did not feel ready for the NBA yet after just one season and stayed in college so he could refine his game further. This allowed him to take time to develop into a more well-rounded player. His coach and teammates were worried that he might leave the team for a bigger school, but loyalty was in his blood. It was how he was brought up, and also because Coach Randy Ray had been right there from the beginning. In his sophomore season, he grew into a star and was the team's leading scorer, averaging 19.9 points, 4 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and 1.1 steals. Weber State won 20 of their 31 games that season with Damian Lillard, improving significantly, and he was announced the Big Sky Player of the Year in his sophomore year. In the following season, Damian Lillard led the Big Sky in scoring, but suffered a foot injury just 10 games into the season that would sideline him for the rest of the year. This was a devastating experience, as Damian Lillard had an amazing 2 first seasons in Utah, and the injury caused his status on the NBA draft board to start plummeting. But this experience really humbled him. It showed him that this game could be taken away from him, that it was a gift from God, and that it could be taken away from him at any time, and that he was lucky to have these things. Damian Lillard used this as an opportunity to improve and spent time on his game in the weight room. This was the first time he lifted weights and focused on his endurance. He focused on ball handling, strength training, and shooting, and every day he did it to keep himself busy. He used these 5 to 6 months to get better on things he wouldn't normally spend time on. This is what eventually separated him in the long run. The hard work paid off, and the following season as a redshirt junior, he averaged 24.5 points a game and led the nation in scoring, only second to Oakland University's Reggie Hamilton. He won his second Big Sky Player of the Year award, and he was also a finalist for the Bob Cousy Award. By that time, as he was regarded as the top point guard prospect in the country, he decided to skip his senior season of college to enter the 2012 NBA draft. The Portland Trail Blazers took a chance on the young guard with the 6th pick in the 2012 draft, and the rest is history. Damian Lillard reached a dream that he has been aiming for ever since he was a young boy. He was never regarded as one of the best players in middle school, high school, or the early parts of his college career, but he was now an NBA player and was selected ahead of point guards that were ranked higher than him when he was younger. In his season opener against the Los Angeles Lakers, he scored 23 points and 11 assists to join only Oscar Robertson and Allen Iverson as the only players in NBA history with at least 20 points and 10 assists in their NBA debut. Damian Lillard exceeded all expectations, and during 2012, many pegged Anthony Davis and other players more talented than Damian Lillard to win the Rookie of the Year award, but he beat them all out by earning all the first-place votes. He also broke the all-time NBA rookie record for three-pointers in a season, surpassing Steph Curry's 166 three-pointers in 2009 to 2010. The following season, he received his first NBA All-Star selection, where he started all 82 games and averaged 20.7 points, 5.6 assists, and 3.5 rebounds per game. Damian Lillard's career continued to blossom from there, and during the playoffs against the Houston Rockets in the first round of the 2014 NBA playoffs, he made a buzzer-beating shot to give Portland a 99-98 victory, and the first playoff series win since 2000. From there on, Damian Lillard's career has had ups and downs throughout the years, but he has always taken every chance to improve despite all the adversity. For example, for several years, including in 2016, he had amazing performances and huge numbers, but he did not get all-star selections or recognition. He simply responded by dropping 51 points on the Warriors and MVP Steph Curry and destroying the Warriors the first game after the All-Star snub. Damian Lillard has never been about the attention, as he played for the sake of loyalty and to prove to others that he can be just as good as other stars in the league. Another one of his struggles was in the playoffs against the New Orleans Pelicans in 2018. He was blanketed by Jrue Holiday's defense the whole series, and he was struggled, averaging only 18.5 points and shooting only 35.2% in a first-round loss. He used it as an opportunity to improve and spent the next year improving his range well beyond 5 feet. This meant that defenses could not contain him, as he would pull up shots 5 feet beyond the three-point line. In the 2018 to 2019 playoffs against the OKC Thunder, with the game tied at 115 apiece, Damian Lillard was well beyond the three-point line and closer to half-court, and shot a three-point shot over Defensive Player of the Year candidate Paul George to end the playoff series and help Portland win the series. He has never backed off from high-pressure and discomfortable situations. In personal life, although Damian's father and mother separated, they both remained very focused on raising the children. Some interesting facts about Damian Lillard include his jersey number 0 stands for O, which points to his struggle to basketball stardom from his birth town in Oakland. Damian Lillard was always an overlooked player, and this represents his journey towards success. The reason for Lillard's distinct persona is his chip-on-the-shoulder attitude that he presents to the public, as he wants people to understand that no changes faze him and that all his doubters will eventually be proven wrong. He has successfully earned the nickname Dame for his clutch play throughout the years. He did not take the conventional path and had to continually prove himself in a smaller market in the Western Conference. His determination and sheer focus helped him achieve stardom. Outside basketball, Damian Lillard is a successful rapper and music artist known as Dame Dollar, inspiring others with his rap lyrics and keeping true to his upbringing. He remains loyal to his East Oakland neighborhood of Brookfield and hosts an annual community barbecue where kids can get free food and free school supplies. He is also committed to the city of Portland and wants to help the city win a championship. He is a loyal guy to his teammates and his staff. The way he talks to the janitors and secretaries is also extremely humbling, and many people in basketball circles say that while Damian Lillard is not the most talented player they've ever seen, they say he is the best leader they've ever seen. When asked about his loyalty, Damian Lillard quotes, "I'm drawn to the struggle and wanting to be part of the rise." Damian Lillard's path was not easy, but he never lost sight of how he has gotten here or the people who boosted him along the way. Everybody that I played for, I thank them all the time for the position I am in, because they didn't care about how I felt or what I wanted to hear. They pushed me, Lillard said. To be successful and to be a person who people respect, you need people who have your best interests and people who want to push you for the right reasons. I had people like that in my corner. I was fortunate. Damian Lillard today will continue his quest in helping the Portland Trail Blazers win an NBA championship, and he will continue to inspire others through his rap music that touch upon his childhood experiences in Oakland. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Our channel focuses on inspirational and motivational stories that focus on holistic health, meditation, and daily 1% improvement. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and you'll be notified anytime we have a new video. If you're interested in learning more about Damian Lillard, make sure you check out the book, Damian Lillard, the inspirational story of Damian Lillard's rise to the most explosive player in the NBA. The link is in the description below. So, how will you overcome adversity to achieve your goals? Drop a comment below and we'll be sure to address it in our next video. Until then, see you next time.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification to the right.